and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Here on my channel, I do planner and planner-related videos, DIY tutorials, budget videos, and the occasional new release video of items that I've listed to my Etsy shop. And if that is of interest to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you hit that little notification bell, you'll always be notified of when I do load a new video. And if you could also comment, like, and share, that does help my channel grow, and that is truly appreciated. So we are in lesson 2 of my lettering series, and I will start every video this way, where if you have more than the basic, or if you're looking for something more than just level 0 basic lettering tutorials, then this is not for you, at least not yet. We're not there yet. If you're looking for something more advanced or at a faster pace, then I would definitely recommend to check out the description box below, where I have some suggestions of some ladies that I follow here on YouTube who are fantastic at doing more advanced work. They're actually experts in it. They sell merchandise for it. They're pretty awesome. Me, I'm still level 0, so we're going to be learning this together. And I'm sorry for the glare, but that will be gone in just a minute. So it is a little misleading, and I just like opening it here because I like looking at it, but we are not even at the level yet where we can work in the workbook. So we're going to skip to the back of this. And again, the video where I put this DIY workbook together is in the description box. And we're actually going to go to lesson 2. So this is the lesson that we did last week. Now, hopefully you have been practicing your upstrokes and your downstrokes, light up, heavier down. I have not. This was not the week for practicing anything, and this upcoming week will definitely be more of the same. But we can work on lesson 2 together. Now, as I've mentioned before, for this first 5 lessons, if you don't have brush pens, a number 2 pencil that is not too pointy works just fine, because you're just really developing the feel for your upstrokes and downstrokes. If you do have brush pens, I find that as a beginner, if the brush pen is a little bit more firmer than floppy, it seems to work well for me. So this is one of the ones that I picked up from Daiso. So if you do have a Daiso near you, I would check the stationery section, and this came in a 2-pack for $1.50. And then my other favorite is the Kuretake Fudibuyori pens, and the link is below. This came in a pack of 12, and again, these it's more of a firmer, it's not hard, but it's definitely more firm than the Memento or even the Tombow. The Tombow, all I have is just this one in black. Now, the thing with the Kuretake is it is only one-sided. So if you do pick up Tombows, you do get the benefit of having the 2-sided pen. But again, it is very floppy, so I don't find it easy to work with. As we're going to do with every lesson, at the top here, you're going to want to make your big E. And whether you do it in a pencil or pen, it does not matter. And then down the middle. It doesn't matter the size either. Right now, we just want that big E. And today is the 23rd. Anytime you either do a lesson here with me or you do a practice session on your own, you're going to want to do this setup, at least in the beginning while we're still learning the strokes. So just to recap from last week, we did practice the upstroke, which is just working from bottom up in a very light line. And really, you just want to, at this point, feel what the difference is. Eventually, you should start working on consistency, so that if you notice the bottom here and the top here aren't the same, but I haven't practiced. Well, actually, I haven't done anything since the last time I did a lesson, so this makes absolute sense to me. The more you do it, the easier it is to be consistent. So what I want you to do is do a row of upstrokes. I also want you to do a row of downstrokes. Pause the video while you are working on that, and then when you're done, come back and we'll actually get into the lesson. All right, guys, so on your work, you would have a row of upstrokes and you would have a row of downstrokes. And as per usual, I did not write down the name of the strokes that we'll be doing today. Hold on. All right, guys, so I had to look it up because, yep. So the first one we're going to be doing is called the Overturn Stroke. And that one is where you work up light. So you're working up your upstroke. And then you come down in your downstroke. So you work up and then you come down thick. Now there's two things to try to accomplish when you're doing this overturn stroke. This here should be smoother, so the transition between going from thin to thick should look, I don't want to say natural, but that's the only thing that comes to mind. Again, right now, this is probably the very first time you're trying it, so it's really not even so much of the concern. It's more just the remembering to go up thin and then come down thick. The other thing to remember is you want these two lines to be parallel to each other. Now, as I mentioned in that first video, whether you start straight and go down straight, or whether you start at an angle and go down at an angle, those two lines should be the same. You don't want to start straight and then come at an angle, because that's just going to mess up how your letters are going to develop. Now, eventually you might create your own style that way, but again, for just this intro purposes, you're just going to want to go up lightly and come down. And this is going to feel weird. It feels weird to me now, and that's, again, all of that's normal. You're training your hand to do something that it normally would not do, because normally you would not have any difference in pressure. You're just doing a loop, right? You're just making little mountains. Well, no, these mountains want to be a certain way. So we're gonna start out light, but then come down thick. So I want you to pause the video, do an entire row of your overturn strokes, and when you're done, bring me back and we'll go on with the next part of the lesson. All right, guys, the second stroke that we're going to be talking today, we're only going to do 2 per lesson, is the underturn stroke. And I'm writing this for 2 reasons. 1, you may want to know what it's called, and 2, so that I don't forget what this is called, because I will be looking at this next week. All right, now, probably no shocker here. The underturn is where, yeah, we're coming down. Level 0, guys. Level 0. We're coming down thick. And then we're lightening pressure, and we're going thin. And that one, to me, always feels harder because I like going down thick. And then I don't really want to let go of that pressure as I come up. So it is a lot harder for me to come down and go up than it is for me to go up and then come down. Now, again, as I mentioned in the previous video, it doesn't matter at this point how big you are making your letters, so long as all of that row is the same size, so at least you have something to compare to. And as I mentioned in the row before, right now you just want to practice going down thick and then coming up thinner. It's probably not as thin as it could be, but eventually you do want to work on that transition right there. So when you're coming down, probably around 3/4 of the way, you want to start lightening pressure just a little so that when you do the upswing, it is lighter. Again, there is that balance between, you know, having enough down and then giving yourself enough time so that it tapers nicely into the up. But I want you to practice an entire row of that in your space, whatever you're doing. Pause the video, and when you're done, bring me back. All right, guys, so those are the 2 strokes that we're going to be doing today. The last thing I want you guys to do is I want you to do a row of upstrokes. And then I want you to do a row of downstrokes. Then I want you to do a row of overturns. And then I want you to do a row of underturns. And then I want you guys to go crazy. I want you to alternate between upstroke, downstroke, overturn, and underturn. And repeat that for an entire row. So you're going to work on 5 rows, the upstroke, the downstroke, the overturn, the underturn, and then flopping or alternating between all 4 of those things. When you're done, bring me back and we'll end the lesson together. Hi guys, I forgot to mention I didn't use the pencil yet, so with the pencil, like I mentioned in that first video, lesson 1, you won't be able to get the thins and the thicks, but you will hopefully be able to get a distinction between a lighter line and a heavier line. And so you can still practice because, again, you're just really trying to get the muscle memory of how this works if you have not picked up a brush pen, or if you have a brush pen and you're not a fan of the results, then you might want to work on here until you do become more familiar with it. All right, go ahead and finish up your lesson and I'll be right back. All right, guys, and as we will end every single lesson, here at the top, we're going to utilize our E. And we are going to write the word hello. Again, you have not learned any of these strokes yet. So yay! Just go ahead and do your best attempt. And really, all you need to remember is anytime you go up, it should be thin. Anytime you come down, it should be thick. And the top line, you should have the top of the H and the 2 L's. And then this middle line, you should have that middle section of the H, the E, and the O's. Those are the only rules you really need to know right now. So go ahead and work on your hello. And when you're done, bring me back and we will finish up. All right, guys, so that is the end of lesson 2. These are my hellos that I've done. I have to tell you, my arm hurts. I really can tell the difference of not practicing a little every night from the last time I did this, because before then I was practicing at least a little. I like some of the transitions here. I think the mountains in between the letters is getting pretty good, but I do notice that when I try to rush that my line is not staying the same. So that is something that I will need to work on, because I do want my lines to be more parallel. Again, whether you are straight up and down or you go side to side, however you do your letter, you want to continue for the entire word. You don't want something like this. This one, my transitions from letter to letter weren't that great, but again, I'm out of practice for about a week, so even the basic stuff is not as good as some of my previous work. So I definitely recommend practicing. Don't do as I do as I suggest. Because I ain't going to tell anyone what to do. But yeah, that is lesson 2 for this week. Again, we've learned the overturn stroke and the underturn stroke, and I'm really going to try to put the names of these things up on the wall in front of me so that I don't have to pause the next video. Tune in every Sunday for a lesson in this hand lettering series from a beginner. And we'll learn how to hand letter or brush letter together. All right, guys, that's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.